Welcome. I'm Alice Alicia Jones, and this is another one of my Living Consciously videos. I have been gone for about 3 weeks and was very grateful for the time away. Part of it was in Pennsylvania in a little cottage that my husband's grandfather bought in 1947. And of course, it's been added on to as the family grew. 2 additional bedrooms were added, a full bath was added, and a eating porch was added, which became both a dining area as well as a sitting area. So that made it very, very lovely. It's on a lake at Lake Idlewild, which is in the Endless Mountains chain in upstate Pennsylvania. So very relaxing. You don't do much there, at least we don't. We don't do a lot of activities, but it's super, super wonderful. Anyway, and then the second place I went to was Nashville to celebrate the baby shower of my godson's wife, and just came home from 8 days there, and that was a beautiful event. Her mother came in. She's originally from California, and her mother came in from California and father, and just set up an absolutely exquisite arrangement for the baby shower at a place in Nashville called Top Golf, which is quite splendid. Um, I'm not a golfer, so I probably can't appreciate it as much as the golfers did. But anyways, it was quite splendid. Today, our subject is integrity. Integrity is in deep doo-doo right now across our country. Integrity and the way I explain integrity is being a person of your word, keeping your word, but doing what you say for the common good. We don't live in isolation. We don't live as apart from anybody else. And so we need to be wary of how our words and actions affect other people. Sometimes people think that what they're saying is absolute truth for everyone. It is not. It is truth for themselves, period. For the other people listening to what they're saying or what they're doing, it's judgmental. It can be very hurting. It can be damaging. It can be controlling. It can be manipulative. So just be aware of the fact that if you think you have truth for everyone, it may not be the case. So please just know. I'm going to give you just a couple examples from my own experience that this is the way I always teach. I teach from my own experience of places where I had to learn a lesson in integrity, because in one case, I'm still paying for it today. And I'm going to go back to my 30s when I was diagnosed with a deviated septum, where one nostril was 100% closed. And I knew that I had trouble breathing through both nostrils, especially when I got congested and had a cold or cough, but especially, when the nasal passages filled up. And then I realized, oh my God, I can barely breathe. So anyway, when I was told that I had one nasal passage that was completely closed, I went back in my memory bank and realized that when I was a 10th grader at Mount Mercy Academy, there was one day where I was sick. So I missed my ride to school and I ended up walking in the afternoon. And when I got there, it was about noon. No one was there. And when I finally found somebody to tell me where they were, they said that they were on the third floor of the building, and none had died, and she was laid out in the third floor, and they were all like saying a rosary in her honor. So I walked up there, and bear in mind, I had been ill in the morning. I walked to school, which was over 2 miles, probably 2.5 miles, and it was winter. It was cold, and when I had to walk up to the third floor. There's no such thing as a elevator in a Catholic girls' high school, at least not accessible to me. When I walk up there, the room that I entered into was a very small, very damp, very musty. And of course, there's the odor of the body, the rotting flesh, the odor of candles burning, the odor of flowers. And so as I stood in tribute to the nun, I ended up fainting and going straight down. Absolutely fell flat on my face, and as a result, that was the place when I experienced the deviated septum. So in my 30s, when I finally realized I wanted to do something about this, I took and researched or got recommendations from doctors, people I trusted, and was given the name of a doctor who was very highly respected. And they said, he will do your operation and it will be perfect. Then I am not exactly sure how another doctor got my name, but he called me and he basically said that yes, the doctor that was going to do the operation for me was not an expert in straightening my nose, because the nose had just was slightly bent to one side, and he assured me that he could do both, that he could separate the deviated septum, move it, get rid of the blockage, and give me a nose that was 100% straight. Because if I looked carefully, I could see that part of the nose was just bent over. I went with that second doctor, and the result was that I ended up, yes, with a straight nose, but I ended up with 20% closure in the deviated, in the part of the septum that hadn't been closed before, that had been 100% open. So he corrected one issue, but caused something else to happen. So that wasn't enough to make me understand that I needed to follow through and stick to what I was originally intending to do, which was to find a doctor that was the best for the operation that I wanted. I got swayed by vanity. Not good. Anyway, my second example, life lesson that I had to take was where I was deep into property management, had sold the house next door to the townhouse I was living in, and for about 10 years later, so I'm in my 40s now, the couple who bought it now wanted to sell it. And I thought that their backyard had absolutely nothing but grass in it, and I had a exquisite patio. And I thought, okay, I'll look for a person who will put a patio in and do it as reasonably as I can. My effort in those years was always to save money for the landlord. And when I found a person that fit the price range, he could, it was just like a husband and wife team. He could start in a couple weeks. So, because he was busy up until that time. And then he was able, we would have to just wait for him. And I was okay with that. In the meantime, somebody else found me and started pressuring me about, oh, well, he can add this feature and that feature. And instead of just a cement patio, he can bring in rocks of or slabs of slate to make it look more attractive and for the same price. Again, I was persuaded to go with him at I guess either a few days or the day before this person, the week before the original person was supposed to start. The second person asked me, "Did you sign a contract?" And I said, "No, this was just a verbal agreement." That's where integrity comes in. It was a verbal agreement, but I had given my word to the first couple to do it. The long and short of it was the second man started with a bang. But unfortunately, when it was about midway through the process, all of a sudden he ghosts me. He disappears. He's nowhere to be found. And every time I call him and talk to him, it's like I don't know where he is. He promises to come, doesn't show up. Promises to come, doesn't show up. So I learned from that experience at the end of 4 months. In the third month, he claimed he cut the tip of his finger off. That wasn't my fault. That had nothing to do with me. But he claimed that this was a result of the stress that he was under in the third month. And then finally in the fourth month, he finished the job. And in the meantime, we're waiting all this time. This job was supposed to have been done in 2 weeks, but expanded for unforeseen things, maybe a month. So no amount of my understanding prior to that made me realize I was going back on my word. After that experience, I recognized the value of absolutely maintaining my word, maintaining my integrity. And the lesson I received, the greatest lesson I received was from my father, because he took he had a contract once. This is when he was building homes as a second job. And he had a contract once from a 70-year-old couple. And they were short somewhere in the neighborhood of $6,000 to $10,000. And the bank was insecure about lending them the money. And my father vouched for them. He said that they are people who will absolutely can be counted on, can be trusted to pay their bills. They got the bank acquiesced because of my father's assurance, and then took my father's word for it and went to a gave them the loan. My father finished the house. They paid off the money they owed, I think, in less than 4 years. And bear in mind, this is the 70s. So uh, late 60s, early 70s. So they, even $6,000 to $10,000 loan had a lot more value than it does today. And even that didn't teach me, but the second experience with the patio finally drummed into my head that when I give my word to somebody for whatever it is that I promise them, I will follow through. Do not feel that something like this can be taken lightly. Do not feel that I can give my word and have a lot of harm done to a certain segment of society. That doesn't work. So again, evaluate, trust, learn to be a trustworthy person, and take nothing for granted when it's time for you to follow through with something that you've given your word on. Follow through on it. Don't take it lightly. Don't presume that this is not going to uh, um, this is not going to be important. It is. Anyway, and I'll see you next week. I'm here for probably another, I don't leave until the 20th of September again, so I will see you next week, Friday. If you need a book of meditations, Own Your Power Day by Day is absolutely the best on the market. $20 on my website. I will personally autograph it, inscribe it for you, and I will also give you, and the shipping and handling is free. And it usually gets sent out within a week, sometimes even the next day. Depends upon, what my schedule is like. And if you need to reach me, I do past life readings. I do spiritual counseling. I do psychic readings. If you need to reach me, my website, Alicja, ALICJA, Jones.com. I thank you for being here and am especially gratified to be back on YouTube. Thank you. And have a great Labor Day.